My dear students, in our previous video, we have seen the structure of human digestive system. In this class, let us see the physiology of digestion. What are the phases that are included under digestion? Digestion is nothing but conversion of insoluble, non-absorbable, non-diffusible components into diffusible, absorbable, and soluble particles. It includes various phases. Let us see what are the phases involved in the process of nutrition and digestion. Phases in nutrition is, first one is ingestion. Ingestion is intake of food. Normally the organ of ingestion in majority of the animals is mouth. Even in human being, mouth is the organ of ingestion, and by mouth we ingest the food material. Later it has to be digested. There are two phases in digestion, namely mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. In mechanical digestion, what happens? Only the physical nature of the molecules will be changed. Physical nature of the particles will be changed. Normally in mechanical digestion, what happens? Bigger particles will be converted into physically smaller particles so that the surface area will be increased. As a result, the enzymes will act upon these particles very efficiently due to the exposure of more surface area. And this digestion is followed by absorption and assimilation. In this class, let us concentrate only on the digestion at different areas of digestive system. And I already told, digestion is nothing but conversion of insoluble, non-diffusible, and non-absorbable foodstuffs into soluble, diffusible, and absorbable foodstuffs. And it is achieved, it is accomplished by a set of enzymes. Digestion is chemically hydrolysis. Digestion is chemically hydrolysis. Hence, all the enzymes that are involved in the process of digestion can be called as hydrolases. And I already told that digestion is divided into two types, namely mechanical and chemical. Mechanical means physical, where the particle is broken down into small pieces. Whereas chemical digestion takes place with the help of enzymes. And we have seen various parts like oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, like that. Let us see how the digestion at different parts will take place. Coming to the oral cavity. In oral cavity, both mechanical digestion and chemical digestion take place. Mechanical digestion in the oral cavity is done by teeth and tongue. Whereas you know that the oral cavity contains salivary glands, it secretes saliva, and this saliva contains one enzyme called ptyalin, and this ptyalin converts starch to maltose. That means in oral cavity, carbohydrates are partially digested. And mixture of food that is formed in the oral cavity is called bolus, and this bolus is pushed back with the help of the tongue, and that swallowing process is technically called deglutition. And during swallowing, breathing is temporarily halted. Due to peristalsis, bolus reaches the stomach. That means, due to swallowing, the food reaches the esophagus through pharynx, of course. And from esophagus, there will be one movement that is involuntary. That movement is rhythmic also. That is called the peristalsis. And due to peristalsis, bolus reaches the stomach. And in stomach, HCl is secreted and it facilitates protein digestion. In oral cavity, carbohydrates are digested. In stomach, proteins are digested. That too, proteins are partially digested. And stomach also exhibits certain movements, mechanical movements, and the movements exhibited by stomach are called churning movements. So that is about the digestion in the stomach. And let us come to the next part, that is intestine. Intestine contains two parts, namely small intestine and large intestine. In the duodenum, of course, bile will be emptied, bile will be poured into the duodenum. So this bile contains bile pigments and bile salts. Bile pigments have no role in the process of digestion, whereas bile salts facilitate the digestion of the fats. Bile salts facilitate the digestion of the fats. And the pancreatic juice also contains digestive enzymes. And in ileum, that means that is the last part of the small intestine. In ileum, digestion is totally completed. Totally completed, and all the products will be absorbed in some structures that are present in the ileum. They are nothing but microvilli. Let us see what are the enzymes that are being poured into ileum by crypts of Liberacum, and that intestinal juice is called Succus entericus. It contains this set of enzymes which digest carbohydrates, proteins, and also lipids. Here you can see sucrase, it digests sucrose. You know that sucrose is an invert sugar. Hence, this sucrase is also known as invertase. And amylase, the same amylase you find it in saliva, that is called salivary amylase. And this is present in the pancreatic juice. And this is called pancreatic amylase. And another one is trypsin, and amylase acts on starch. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, aminopeptidase, dipeptidases will act on proteins. The name itself indicates the nature of their activity. For example, if you take carboxypeptidase, it digests the protein from carboxyl end, whereas aminopeptidase will digest the protein from amino end. Dipeptidases will act on dipeptides, and at the end lipase is found, and it breaks down the lipids with the help of bile salts. So from the process of digestion, after the digestion, proteins are converted into amino acids, lipids are converted into fatty acids and glycerol, and the carbohydrates are converted into one monosaccharide, namely glucose, and all these end products will be absorbed through microvilli that are present in the ileum. So this is about the process of digestion in human being. Thank you very much.